Good evening, everybody. Today is January 27th, 2021. Welcome 2021. This is the City of Porte Redevelopment Commission meeting. I'd like everybody to have the Pledge of Allegiance. Say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America, which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice
for all. We'd like to do number 3, which is roll call. I'm Brian Chalik. I'm here. Damon Gassaway. Damon, are you here? Is that no?
Brian, David's not here tonight.
Okay. JT McDermott.
Present.
Betsy Parkinson.
Present.
Jenna Francisconi.
Present.
Okay, we're all here except Damon. For now. Damon probably will join us later. Number 4, public comment. Do we have any public comment? Somebody wants to tell us how good of a job we're doing?
I just checked the Facebook live stream and there are no comments.
Okay, I'm going to close public comment. It's 5:17 p.m. Number 5, minutes. The December 30th regular meeting. Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes?
Yes.
Do we have any questions, comments?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
I will
We have a
second
motion
that.
to approve. We have a second. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Nay? Hearing none. I guess it would be 4-0. Passes. Claims. January 27th, 2021 claim docket. Everybody has a chance to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions, comments on the claims?
No, it looked all in order to me.
Will I have a motion to pass the claims?
I will make the motion to pass the claim docket dated January 27th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All vote in favor of saying aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, passes 4-0. Claims are done. Number 7, old business. Jacob and Hefner task orders 2 and 3 for environmental consulting services in Newport Landing, redevelopment phase 2A, remediation division B. Nick, I think you're up.
Sure. So with Jacob and Hefner, based on the amount of time cleanup was taking, we'd kind of been releasing kind of month by month or 2 months or 3 months at a time, additional scope more or less for them to be on site for oversight during the environmental cleanup. The task orders on the agenda before you tonight are accounted for in our kind of planning as far as where the dollars are going within TIF 1 and what needs to be available for various projects. We kind of had these numbers and just wanted to make sure we got the task orders in front of you as well to make sure all contracts were up to date. Jacob and Hefner's really done a great job of making sure that we're getting all of our confirmation sampling and everything done on that site. And now that that's wrapped up, they've been also helping out just without even charging to assist with some Indiana Brownfields work and some grant work that we're doing. So I would recommend approval of these. Again, these are items that we have accounted for in our overall budget for the project. And again, if there's any questions, let me know.
Are there any questions for Nick? Nick, we don't need to approve this, do we, or make a motion, do we?
Yes.
We do?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I hear a second.
I will second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Larson Danielson, change order number 3 for Clear Lake Boulevard Road Boardwalk Project.
So the second change order we have today is the kind of closeout change order for the Clear Lake Boardwalk. Let me pull up the numbers here real quick. Apologize. This, thought I had it open on my desktop and I didn't. So this change order is for two things. One, the first is a field design change we made based on the ability to kind of move some things around and get more kind of bang for our buck. And that would be, we were intending to have one overlook, but for just a small amount more based on how we shifted things during, in the field, we were able to get a second overlook for kind of a pretty minimal cost. So that's the first item on the agenda. And then the second item on the agenda, originally we had bid two projects. One was the boardwalk and one was kind of trailhead and parking areas. We haven't executed and moved forward with the trailhead portion. So in order to have the boardwalk open, we moved that scope into Larson Danielson's contract. The price is consistent with what we were planning to pay the contractor that we would awarded and would have had done the trailhead anyway, but we were able to again use Larson Danielson to get the project open and allow people to be using it whenever weather allows. So I would recommend approval of these two change orders. And Larson Danielson's done a great job, and this would kind of finish up and clean up the project, and we can wrap this one up and start something else.
Very good. I like the way it looks also, I might add. Very good job by them.
And I would add, thanks to Larson Danielson for this, even with this change order for the trailhead area, kind of the connection area, which is an increase of $38,647.30. And then the additional bump out was $2,456. With their help and input and our ability to value engineer, I think we got a great project and a great product. And we finished the project, we awarded at $688,313.94. This change order closes out the project at $662,109.24. So this project actually, through the help of Larson Danielson, came in under the award amount.
Yeah, I noticed in there are some things they didn't charge us in the change order for, and they even stated that.
Yeah.
You don't ever see that ever happen.
They've been a tremendous partner on this project, and the projects we work with them on, we see this regularly where they work for their clients and we are their client, so, or customer.
Any other statements or questions for Nick? on Larson Danielson.
Great job coming in under budget. And it's a great project.
Should I get a motion to pass the change order number 3 for Clear Lake Boardwalk project, please?
I will motion to approve the Larson Danielson change order 3.
I will second
Second.
that.
Yeah, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes 4-0. On to number 8, new business. First thing on the agenda is a 2021 Consolidated Plan Amendment Declaratory Resolution. I think we need to read the resolution by title only. JT, would you like to do that?
Sure. Apologies. Let me pull it up real quick. Make sure I get it right. Resolution of the City of LaPorte Redevelopment Commission approving certain amendments to the respective declaratory resolution and economic development plan for each of the city's existing LaPorte Town Square Economic Development Area, LaPorte Central Business District Economic Development Area, Thomas Rose Industrial Park Economic Development Area, and Eastgate Economic Development Area, consolidating such economic development areas and the economic development plans related thereto, adding certain projects to the consolidated economic development plan in related matters.
Thank you, JT. Can we have somebody elaborate on this?
I would be happy to do so. Recall that have a TIF district, that means it's an area where the parcels in that area can generate TIF. But there is a second layer of area that's referred to as the underlying economic development. To be a TIF district, any parcel in a TIF district has to be in an economic development area. But an economic development area can have broader boundaries than the TIF areas. They don't always overlap. They often do. As I say, the TIF, as you know, is the parcels which generate TIF. The economic development area is generally thought of as the area where TIF can be spent. Sometimes cities such as the Porte find that it would be convenient if it were possible to spend TIF from one area, a TIF area, in a different TIF area. So a common way to address that is to join up the underlying economic development areas. And that's frequently done simply by finding convenient roads that will connect all of the areas and such that those roads are treated as an extension of one of the areas, and you pick the most convenient, and then you combine all of them. So each of those TIF districts is also a separate economic development. And the map attached to the resolution you have shows how those economic development areas would be connected up through roads. And at the end of the day, you are left with one economic development area. Or separate allocations, TIF districts, where TIF from any one of those four can be spent anywhere in that consolidated economic development. So that's the goal. It's essentially to provide a legal way to make the use of the TIF from any one of those areas more flexible, how it can be used. A practice that I usually recommend when we go through an amendment process, I keep kind of a running list of the broadest possible legal list of permissible projects. And I recommend that be that. What that does is that to the extent you can do so, it avoids the need for TIF plan amendments. Not always possible to avoid it for acquisition property. Cannot be preemptively done, but the various categories can be listed, and so there is an exhibit that really reflects my working group's current listing of the universe of possible uses of TIF that you can anticipate as a possibility out of that. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me.
So from here, it would go to the Plan Commission, then the City Council, and then back to the redevelopment. And professional teams separate that part.
Any questions or comments? Everybody understands this and why we're doing it? I believe I need a motion to pass this.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2021 Consolidated Plan Amendment Declaratory Resolution.
Do I have
I
a
will
second?
second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes 4-0. Thank you for your expertise. Item B, 2021 District Bonds Preliminary Bond Resolution.
Hey, do you want to address that one?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So I've got a schedule. I talked with Courtney earlier today, and I believe she was going to distribute that to everybody on the call. I can share it if anyone needs to see that, but I know we were up there a few months ago, kind of doing our annual TIF report and presentation, and we always kind of try and distill your TIF situation down to kind of a one-page picture if we can. In that schedule, it's the comparison of estimated annual tax increment and obligations, if everyone has that in front of them. But we kind of try to do that here. And, as Tom mentioned, really the goal of the consolidation of the TIF areas is to give you the most flexibility in spending those dollars. So you have 4 very healthy TIF areas with the Central Business, Thomas Rose, your Eastgate, American Signature area, and then the Town Square area. But you also have a lot going on with those areas. Kind of the first thing is the old hospital. And as it's currently a big piece of your existing Central Business TIF, so as the hospital, has already started to transition to the new building, but as some of those old facilities are sold or redeveloped, could certainly impact your existing TIF. The second piece is the Flaherty and Collins project, which should, once that's fully built and assessed, should start generating some pretty significant dollars for your TIF areas. Your Central Business areas actually kind of broken out into 4 kind of sub-districts. So you have an original area, expansions, and then you've also got an expansion for the new hospital site and then the new Flaherty and Collins site. So what this schedule shows is kind of all those different pieces of the TIF area and what we think that'll look like over the next, 25 years or so. So you can see your central business TIF, very healthy, generated about $1.6 million currently. We've kind of shown a worst case scenario here, even if the old hospital was, completely demolished, sometime this year, which doesn't, sound like it's the case. And if there was no redevelopment or reuse of those properties, you would see a pretty substantial drop on your central business TIF, but you would still capture 600,000 in growth from that area, from all the other growth you've had, besides the old hospital. Your Thomas Rose is very healthy, generates just shy of 1.3 million, and it'll capture that all the way through 2035 when a piece of the area rolls off, and then captures an additional 400,000 for a few years after that. As I mentioned, the Flaherty and Collins project should start to generate pretty substantial dollars here in the next couple of years, and they've actually agreed to that 440,000 you see there. That's a guaranteed amount. Even if their tax payments come in less, they will pay the 440 to you. And then with the new hospital, that will start to generate TIF. They are receiving the 10-year enterprise zone deduction. So you won't see TIF dollars until the early 2030s, but in the interim period, they will pay that enterprise zone or UEA fee to the city. So you've got some revenue stream from the new hospital as well. And then your Eastgate and Town Square areas are less obligated, but still generate healthy TIF dollars as well. So what we wanted to do with the consolidation is just really give you the most flexibility, to use those various dollars for whatever projects come your way. So you can see, this year you're generating about 3.4 million from everything. That should, fluctuate but grow, in another decade or so to over 5 million. And then you can see in the later years as it starts to roll off. So with the bond resolution, kind of the second piece of the approvals here tonight, we're suggesting a redevelopment district bond issue to pay for some of the additional remediation costs that the city's incurred with the Newport landing remediation, as well as a new lift station and some utility work as well. The bond resolution would allow you to issue a bond up to $3,690,000 with a final maturity no later than January 15th of 2040, and then an interest rate not to exceed 5%. And those are all maximums. We anticipate the actual financing will come in much below those, at least on the interest rate side of things. But that'll allow you to borrow those funds payable from your various TIF areas, have that flexibility to pay it from kind of wherever you see fit, as you have additional needs in the future. And so what we've shown on this schedule here too, kind of to the right of all those TIF revenues, we've shown your various debt obligations. So you can see the outstanding obligations column that represents all the various TIF debt obligations that are already outstanding that have paid for various projects over the years. So there's, a 2004 bond issue that was done for American Signature, 2012 bond issue, 2 bond issues in 2015, and then the Newport Landing bonds from last year. To the right of that, we've shown kind of what we estimate the repayment for this new remediation financing could look like. And you can see if we're able to stretch it out to a full 20 years, your payment would be about $250,000 per year. And that's based on, an interest rate that's more in kind of the 2.5% range for a 20-year taxable financing, which with market rates where they are is really a pretty incredible rate for a 20-year taxable financing. And we have had some conversations with an underwriting firm as they look for potential bond purchasers. There may be some benefit to even shortening that term a little bit, which would increase your annual payment slightly, but would also save you some interest in the long run. So we are kind of working in the very preliminary stages with them as they look to either find a bank that's willing to purchase this financing or look to underwrite it and sell it to kind of a number of different investors. So we'll kind of keep the city team in the loop as we go through, those conversations and look to get, financing in place here in the next month or two. but that's kind of what you'd be approving. And then, like I said, what you see on this schedule is kind of what we think it would look like in the long run. So you can see in that very far right column, your TIF coverages and your TIF that you will have remaining for other projects is still very, very healthy. I mean, you're talking in the, multiple $1 million per year that you'll have for other projects after making all your various debt service payments. So, certainly plenty of capacity to pick up this financing. So that's kind of a 10,000 foot overview, but I'd be glad to answer any questions too.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Anyone have any questions?
That was very
Comments?
very helpful information. So thank you very much. I feel more comfortable now.
You're welcome.
There's still funds available.
Okay, I need a motion to accept this resolution.
I will motion to approve the district bonds preliminary bond resolution.
Do I have a second?
I will second it.
Very good. All in favor state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes 4-0. Thank you for your explanation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Item C, Newby, Lewis, Kaminsky, and Jones Legal Counsel Services Continuation Agreement with the City of LaPorte Redevelopment Commission. All right, has everybody had a chance to read the letter?
Yes.
Anybody have any questions? Matt's right here to answer them.
I am available.
I don't believe this has changed much, has it?
It didn't change at all.
I didn't think so.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I'm going to motion to approve Newby, Lewis, Kaminsky, and Jones agreement. Do I have a second?
I will second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor by state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes 4-0.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Matt. Item D, Flaherty and Collins, the banks, disbursement request number 5 and 6. Has everybody had a chance to look at the 152 pages? Any comments? So I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the Flaherty and Collins, the bank's disbursement requests number 5 and 6.
I will second that.
Very good. I have a motion and a second for the Flaherty and Collins disbursement request number 5 and 6. All in favor state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes 4-0. Moving right along here, item E, Baker and Tilly engagement letter agreement for the advisory services, of which we just heard some.
Brian, this is Courtney. Would you like me to explain a little bit?
If you would, please, Courtney.
As you can tell with Andy Mauser's presentation this evening, this engagement letter or agreement is for municipal advisory services for debt issuance, arbitrage, and continuing disclosure. The continuing disclosure is required on all of the RDC bonds. So this engagement letter, and Andy, correct me if I'm wrong, covers those 3 items and and as you can see, we're lucky to have Baker Tilly as a partner.
Absolutely.
Thanks, I appreciate it, and that's accurate for sure. There's actually a chance we may be able to do the bonds without that continuing disclosure requirement, so that may or may not apply on this new issuance, but it, is it something that applies on your outstanding debt that we assist with on an annual basis as well.
Very good. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Courtney. Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to accept the Baker Tilly engagement agreement for advisory services.
I will second.
I have a motion and a second for Baker Tilly engagement letter agreement for advisory services. All in favor state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes 4-0. Thank you very much. Item F, election of 2021 officers.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Brian Chalik as president, Damon Gassaway as vice president, and myself as secretary, JT McDermott.
I will second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to keep 2021 officers the same as the 2020 officers, which will last 1 month. Which is myself, Brian Chalik, as the president, Damon Gassaway, the vice president, and JT McDermott as the secretary. All in favor state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes 4-0. Item G, appointment to the City of LaPorte Alcohol Beverage Review Committee.
I'd like to nominate Brian Chalik to maintain this appointment.
I will second that.
Well, thank you both. All in favor state by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, passes 4-0. Item H, appointment to the City of LaPorte Historic Downtown Design Standards Review Committee. I believe that's JT McDermott's slot, if I'm not correct.
I will nominate JT McDermott to fill that slot for another year.
I'll second that.
Very good. All in favor state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. JT, welcome aboard again. Passes 4-0. Item I, appointment to the Newport Landing Design Standards Review Committee. I'd like to make a motion that Betsy Parkinson be this liaison.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Welcome aboard, Betsy.
Well, thank you very much.
4-0. Item 9, other business. Do we have any other business? Nick?
Yeah, I had an item of business that recently came up about a day ago. NIPSCO is doing a project, rather large project in the city, starting at the Washington Street sub, going down Washington, up Pine Lake Ave, down Weller, then kind of around and ending near the street department. This is a large project. They currently have a laydown yard on the south side of the city, and we'd really like to see that moved. In the past, the Redevelopment Commission has given a temporary easement to NIPSCO to use kind of the gravel parking area next to the Dunes Event Center. We would like to use this again. I think it'd be good for the city to have this lay down yard in that location versus where it is currently as their operations ramp up. I don't have an easement agreement today. That's something that NIPSCO is working on. But since the Redevelopment Commission has awarded, or not awarded, has signed an agreement in the past with NIPSCO, if the RDC would like to, I would request that that you allow the RDC president to approve this agreement with review and kind of negotiation with the Redevelopment Commission attorney. This would allow for NIPSCO to start this process sooner than your next meeting. And I think they'd be grateful, and it's always good to keep a good partner in NIPSCO.
Questions? Anybody have any questions? I believe I need a motion, correct, Nick?
Please.
I'll make a motion to approve NIPSCO using the RDC easement.
I will second that.
Very good. We have a motion and a second. All in favor state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Passes 4-0. But Nick, I would like you to talk to NIPSCO about giving us a little break somewhere else along the line here.
Sure.
No other business? Any type of business? None? Jenna, would you like to do number 10 for us?
Yes, I would love to. I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 5:52 p.m.
I will second that motion.
All in favor state by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, everybody. Long meeting, but we've got a very productive one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thanks.
Have a good evening. Take care.
Brian, before you jump